ABC 27.
Tonight on ABC 27, 50 years ago, a civil rights movement here in Tallahassee sparked national attention, and today residents are making sure Tallahassee remembers.
This is ABC 27 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Elise. Thanks for joining us. 50 years ago, two local college students sparked the civil rights movement here in Tallahassee. Today, community leaders kicked off a week-long celebration that honors their legacy. Rebecca Baer has more on how they're remembering the Tallahassee bus boycott.
This week in 1956, two Florida A&M students refused to give up their seats on a city bus. Their actions led to a citywide bus boycott being remembered today with a week-long series of events. Organizers say the goal is to spotlight how important the event is to not just Tallahassee history, but to American history.
People of Tallahassee, when you talk about what has happened over the last 50 years, it's something that is extremely important because it is so personal.
While some didn't personally experience the segregation that was common in the South, they say it's important to understand what their parents went through. It's why Kia Graham brought her daughter to one of the commemoration events.
It's a part of the history of our people, and I feel that not enough is taught about what happened in the history because it's not too long ago.
And organizers say civil rights is still a relevant topic even now. They hope this commemoration will spark discussion about the current struggle for equality. They say there's still much that needs to be addressed, like equal education and the poverty rate among senior citizens.
We've come a long way, but I think we really need to realize that the task is far from over.
In Tallahassee, Rebecca Baer, ABC 27.
All right, if you'd like to take part in the event, they continue tomorrow with a seminar from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. given by supporters who were in Tallahassee at the time of the actual boycott. There will also be an all-day exhibit called Path to Freedom at the Riley House Museum on Tuesday. Organizers will hold a luncheon at noon at the Civic Center featuring Bob Gabordi from the Tallahassee Democrat. That's followed by a memorial meeting at 7 p.m. headed up by Charles Steele Jr. on Tuesday night. You can get a head start on hurricane season with the help of a local home improvement store. Home Depot stores across the state are holding special hurricane preparedness clinics. They'll teach you how to protect your home from wind damage and show you what you need to start your disaster kit, as well as any other questions on hurricane preparedness.
There's a lot of new products out there, and there's a lot of the products that are out there that people don't. There's a lot of information even on generators, what the right thing to use for your home is.
To find out when a clinic will be held, contact your local Home Depot store. The state government is making sure hurricane preparations are a little bit easier on your wallet, but only for a limited time. Through June 1st, emergency supplies and items designed to protect your home will be sales tax free. The tax holiday kicked off today, and we caught up with some people already taking advantage of the savings.
From the past and what other hurricanes I've seen, it's something you need to do because the help isn't always there.
Some of the tax-exempt storm supplies include batteries, flashlights, battery-powered radios, and generators. For a full list, visit a home improvement store or the Department of Revenue website at myflorida.com. Well, it's hard to think about hurricane season when we have such beautiful weather outside. So will it continue? Dave?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Lauren, what we're talking about is a persistence forecast pattern, which means not a lot of changes in the forecast today. Very warm temperatures in the low 90s. And as you'll see right now, the radar and satellite picture not working too hard here across the viewing area. But look towards the south. We are starting to see some very fair weather clouds move into some of the southern portions of the viewing area. South Georgia looks like will be mainly clear overnight. Then for us here in Tallahassee, places like Jefferson County as well as back to Liberty County, we'll be seeing the clouds increase. Partly because we're starting to see some of the winds swing around from the south. And that does mean that we will start to see an increase in moisture. Temperatures have cooled down to the mid-70s in Tallahassee, 77 in Valdosta and in Albany. And your storm team forecast for the overnight down to 64 by 7 a.m., mainly clear. Clouds increase tomorrow. Not a lot of changes in the forecast, but we'll talk about that coming up. Lauren?
All right, thanks, Dave. Yeah, what a beautiful weekend to be outside, especially if you're at the Tallahassee Regional Airport for one of the busiest days of the year. It's not a holiday, but aviation enthusiasts wrapped up a two-day air fest. The event brought in dozens of planes from around the region, including several World War II warbirds. It also served as a fundraiser for the Young Eagles program, which allows kids to take their very first airplane ride.
It might excite them into learning about aviation, which also leads to math and science education and aerospace science. So it's a way to get kids to spark that interest, something exciting, and they just love it.
Funds raised from the Air Fest will provide scholarships to an aviation camp for 2 kids. The Young Eagles program is possible with the help of local pilots who volunteer their time and their airplanes, like Marty Shingler, who helped us get those beautiful aerial shots. A 10-year-old Pensacola girl is in serious trouble tonight after taking a joyride down a busy road. The girl faces several felony charges of kidnapping and vehicle theft. The SUV she stole was her sister's and had 2 toddlers strapped inside. Shavella Nix's 15-minute joyride reached speeds of 50 miles per hour and ended when she crashed into a fire hydrant. Both children that were inside the car were treated for minor injuries and are doing okay. 2 people drowned over the weekend in Pensacola in separate incidents. Escambia County Sheriff's deputies say a woman in her 40s drowned during a canoe trip. 3 hours later, a man drowned in a clay pit. The man was swimming for several minutes, went under, and never resurfaced. Space Shuttle Discovery is at the launch pad preparing for only the second liftoff of a space shuttle since the Columbia disaster 3 years ago. The 6 million-pound shuttle took about 8 hours getting to the launch pad. It's set to lift off sometime between July 1st and July 19th. The Discovery was grounded last summer after foam insulation fell from the fuel tank, the same problem that caused the Columbia's fatal accident. Coming up on ABC 27, the ballots are in, and after a close runoff election, what's next for New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin? But first, a man opens fire in a Baton Rouge church, and police are still asking why. That story's next. Stay with us.
Guys just seem to have a natural aversion to the doctor's office, especially when it comes to a sensitive health issue like erectile dysfunction. And yet nearly half of all guys over 40 and some even younger have ED, a number which could fill this stadium many times over. If your love life leaves something to be desired, even part of the time, just ask your doctor about ED treatments that can help. Do it for you and your partner, or visit justaskttoday.com.
Wednesday on ABC 27. Almost 40% of traffic fatalities are alcohol related. Some say there are more drunk drivers on our roads than ever before.
More people die in DUI crashes every year than every other crime combined.
ABC 27 will show you how dangerous our roads are becoming. Find out what law enforcement is doing to tackle the problem. See Driving Under the Influence. Join Robert Burns and Lauren Finney Wednesday at 6 on ABC 27.
Does your credit score look like this? 578, 520, 512, or even 478? Your credit score is what banks and lending institutions use to determine if you're a good risk for auto loans. Think your credit isn't good enough? Think you can't get a new car? Think again. A special test market approval program is in effect in your area for consumers who meet certain basic requirements. If you have a job and bring home $300 per week, you're approved. Guaranteed. Call 888-244-7958. Don't worry about your credit score. If you have a job and bring home $300 per week, you're approved. Guaranteed. That's right. Guaranteed. For a brand new car, minivan, or SUV. Call 888-244-7958. What have you got to lose? Call 888-244-7958 for fast, easy loan approval. That's 888-244-7958.
4 people are dead after what city officials are describing as one of the worst crimes in the history of Baton Rouge. It began with gunfire inside a church, and police say suspect Anthony Bell then abducted his wife and killed her before he was captured. Heath Allen has local reaction from Baton Rouge.
This morning, for whatever reason, he woke up and he decided that he was going to go on a rampage.
This has got to just rip your heart out.
It does have my family on. I just can pray for him. Just pray.
No one could believe it, and still no one can understand it. For whatever reason this morning, Anthony Bell walked into the Way of Jesus Christ Church in Baton Rouge and opened fire.
What happened?
The fellow, my cousin's husband, just went out and came there and killed him, shot him. Then kidnapped her and killed her too.
Bell killed 3 people inside that church, wounded the pastor, virtually all members of one extended family.
Wonderful. All of them was so wonderful. You know, they were good people. Good people. And it just don't make any sense about this. It doesn't make any sense.
This will affect all of Baton Rouge, and it will affect us for a long time. This was senseless.
2 people, including the pastor, were rushed to local hospitals.
A phone call came here, 911 relative to a shooting. We responded, and we found a person dead in the vehicle, and we found the person that we were looking for in connection to those other shootings.
Police say Bell then kidnapped his wife and 3 kids and wound up in the Ardenwood area of Baton Rouge. He reportedly shot his wife there, and that's also where police caught up with him.
And he was out of the vehicle holding an infant child, and officers were able to ascertain that he was not armed. They were able to remove this infant child and then bring him under arrest without incident.
Y'all must be a very religious family. How is your faith helping you right now?
It's the only thing that's keeping me together right now.
New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin has narrowly won re-election. According to the Louisiana Secretary of State's office, Nagin has about 5,000 more votes than his opponent, Lieutenant Governor Mitch Landrieu. About 98,000 ballots have been counted so far. 49-year-old Nagin was a cable TV executive before his surprise election to the mayor's post in 2002. He entered the national spotlight following Hurricane Katrina. Authorities in Kentucky are waiting for autopsy results for 5 miners who died in an explosion. Governor Ernie Fletcher says preliminary evidence points to the possibility of a methane leak that mixed with oxygen and somehow ignited. Investigators say they won't be allowed back into the Darby coal mine until Monday. The last inspection performed at the mine was on April 28th. Dutch police are detaining a man in connection with the disappearance of Natalie Holloway. The unidentified man is accused of assisting in the murder, battery, and kidnapping of the Alabama teen. Holloway was on a high school graduation trip back in May 2005 when she went missing. Aruban authorities believe she is dead, even though her body has never been found. The suspect is a friend of Jorn Vandersloot, the last person known to have seen Natalie Holloway alive. During the first meeting of the new National Unity Cabinet, the Iraqi Prime Minister promised to crack down on terrorism. Ironically enough, as the cabinet was meeting, terrorists were striking all around the capital. Police say at least 8 people were killed in 3 bombings. Observers are still hopeful, though, the new government will help curb the violence. Ryan Chilcote looks at what's ahead for Baghdad.
It was a moment for Iraq's history books. The country's prime minister before parliament unveiling Iraq's first permanent government since the fall of Saddam Hussein. Formed by hopeful politicians like Hussein Shahristani, who under Saddam never even dreamed they would one day become members of a democratically elected government in Iraq.
I spent more than 11 years in solitary confinement at Abu Ghraib prison, and in those days, no, I was not expecting that one day I'll be called upon by my people to serve as Minister of Oil. But I have sacrificed along with many other Iraqis, and I'm committed to help these people.
After a small number of politicians walked out in protest, the government was approved by a solid majority. The reality, though, is that this government can't even begin to address Iraq's largest problem, the violence, until the government agrees on who will head up the police and military for the next 4 years. For now, the Interior, National Security, and Defense Ministries in charge of Iraq's security forces will be led by officials on a temporary basis. Across town, in a Shiite neighborhood, a reminder of the challenge ahead. Roadside bomb killing at least 22 civilians, wounding 58 more. Iraq's president has said that nearly 1,100 Iraqis were killed last month in sectarian fighting. The politicians here are playing down any expectations that Iraq will be able to handle its own security anytime soon.
We have major security challenge for the government, for the existence of this country, and for our friends also. So I don't anticipate an immediate solutions or quick fixes for the security problem.
A problem now in the hands of Iraq's new permanent government.
Well, President Bush is congratulating Iraq on the formation of their new government. Bush, alongside the First Lady, in a rare Sunday morning appearance, called the move a, quote, new day for millions of Iraqis who want to live in freedom. He agreed with Iraq's prime minister, saying the new government is a devastating defeat for the terrorists and for al-Qaeda. On Capitol Hill, FBI officials searched Louisiana Democrat William Jefferson's office. They say it's part of a bribery investigation. Court documents say there's a videotape showing him accepting $100,000 from an FBI informant. If you remember, Jefferson's New Orleans home was searched back in August. One official says this may have been the first time the FBI has ever raided a congressional office. The Louisiana lawmaker is already saying he's innocent. All right, well, switching gears quite a bit. Beautiful day outside.
Yeah, boy, it's pretty easy to be a weatherman this weekend, and we've pulled off a very nice weekend. High pressure and control. Doesn't look like a lot of changes in the forecast. There are some, including the chances of rain, but look at the video out here that we got earlier today. Golfing. I wasn't out there hitting some golf balls, thank goodness. It would not have been a pretty sight, but what was a pretty sight? Beautiful skies. Talk about the full 5-day forecast in just 2 minutes.
Work on that left hand.
Thanks for the jest, Mom.
Simple, everyday moments can be the perfect time to talk to your kids about not smoking, so you don't have to plan a big discussion.
Look, there's a dragonfly in one of the little houses.
Just your leg? A little moment will do just fine. Talk to your kids about not smoking.
Smoking cigarettes can hurt your game too.
They'll listen.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't.
For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
2 dogs. One has Frontline Plus flea protection. The other has the number 2 product. Over half the dogs treated with the number 2 product had fleas after just 1 week. The Frontline dogs, not one flea. Frontline kills fleas fast all month, and it doesn't just last longer. It's waterproof. For dogs and cats, ask for the vet's number 1 choice, Frontline Plus. Say goodbye to fleas and ticks.
Emergency authorities respond faster with verified alarms from SafeTouch's